Hey guys, what is up and welcome back. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my full in-depth bronzer declutter video. So I started my in-depth declutter series last week. I already did my cream blushes, which I'll have linked down below if you guys want to check that out. We did pretty amazing there. For the next category, I figured I can tackle the bronzers. I counted how much I have and there are 43 in total. For bronzers, I have creams and powders all in one drawer because I don't have way too many creams to have it be put in a different drawer. So it's all together here. Also, I did my nails yesterday and I'm obsessed. I always wanted to have like a vibe going for my nails. This specifically is called SNS Dip Powder. And then also I have these rings that I randomly like purchased from like places here and there, nothing crazy. But this ring right here holds such a special place in my heart because it says Liora, as you guys can see. My father made that for me when I was a baby, and now as an adult it only fits like as a midi finger or on my pinky. But I thought it was just so fitting, you know, anytime I want to like think about him and just remember him even more, I'll put this on and just remember our times, you know, since he's not here anymore. So I just wanted to share. Ooh, also, before we get started, I will have the goodies that I'm decluttering, well, most of them on my Poshmark linked down below if it was purchased by me. So if you guys want to purchase anything, then it'll be up on my Poshmark. Right before this video, by the way, my loose powder completely dropped in here and was like, boom. So if there's dustiness around, that's why. It's not because it's like, you know, not clean. It's just because it just happened right before the video. Like, what are the odds? Okay, first up, I have this bronzer here by e.l.f. Cosmetics. I love this. This is in the shade Sunkissed. Forever Sunkissed. It's such a good drugstore bronzer. It's one of my favorites. I speak about it pretty regularly here on my channel. I also spoke about it in my makeup goodbyes, like makeup I'm almost finished with. Love this a ton. It's perfectly pigmented. It's not too cool tone, not too warm tone. Only $8 at the drugstore. Absolute winner, keeping. Next up, I have this bronzer right here from Dior. This is in Warm Bronze. This is actually one of my newer purchases. I just spoke about this to you guys in my Sephora haul, so still fairly new. I didn't have a chance to use it. I kind of want to get back to Shop My Stash because I guess for other categories there are certain things that I don't even know if I want to get rid of or not because I haven't used it in a long time, and Shop My Stash I feel like helped me with that, with really using it and seeing what I love and what I don't. So yeah, you'll probably see this in a Shop My Stash, but I have yet to try this. It swatched beautifully and the colors seemed nice, plus great formula so far, and the packaging is mush, so we're gonna keep that. This right here is going to be a bronzer that I'm going to go ahead and declutter. This is Baciate London. It's in the shade South Beach. And it's actually a pretty nice bronzer. I think I got this in Boxier Ipsy. Maybe a little bit too dark, but I'm still able to work it. The formula seems really, really nice. There are stars on the inside, and I just think it's really pretty. I don't know if it's available anymore. Like, I don't know if it's a bronzer that's, you know, that could be purchased anytime. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter it. I mean, it's not my ultimate favorite. I don't hate it, so I don't mind not really like necessarily having it in my life. So I'm gonna declutter this. Next up, I have this right here from Too Faced. This is the Chocolate Soleil bronzer. So they have like milk chocolate, and then this one right here is chocolate. So definitely a bit deeper than what I like to go for in bronzers. You know me and deep bronzers, I like to kind of know that I could use it when I'm self-tan and when I'm not. This works beautifully though. I love it. A little bit goes a very, very long way for my skin tone. Formula is fantastic, and then Bossman is almost gone, so you know I love this. Great formula. Keeping. Next up, I have this bronzer right here from Marc Jacobs. This right here is in the shade Tantric. I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. Because I have another bronzer that's similar to it, which I'm going to keep. And then also, like, let's say even the Too Faced one, I would say it has a similar vibe, similar color to this. For some reason, every time I wear this one, it looks beyond money. It looks beyond muddy on me. And I don't know if it's maybe the wrong brushes I'm using, if I'm going in way too much. It just doesn't look as seamless as I would like. And it looks kind of dirty on my face. So as much as I was okay, we cannot talk right now. As much as I would love for this to work out for me, it's nice, but I feel like it's a little bit more of like a tedious bronzer for me, and I have other bronzers that I prefer to use. Also, I don't know if this is available anymore. I don't know if Marc Jacobs is going to be continuing his makeup line, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. Hopefully somebody else, oh boy, will enjoy this baby. Okay, so next up we have this right here from Charlotte Tilbury. This was actually sent to me recently by Charlotte Tilbury. This is in number 2. I should have a full face of Charlotte Tilbury coming up soon, like a video of like their goods. But this right here I would say is very, very similar in regards to color. Let me show you. Yeah, so here you guys can see, hopefully you can tell, really, they really, really are very spot on. So for that reason, I'm gonna keep the Charlotte Tilbury one also because it is newer. I've tried this a few times. A little bit of this goes a long way as well, but I feel like it's easier to work with. So I'm gonna keep that. And also it's huge, kind of similar vibe to like the Marc Jacobs one. It's gonna last forever and it's beautiful. So I'm gonna keep that. Next, I have this right here from e.l.f. Cosmetics. This is the bronzer palette. So I do have the single bronzer, right? Like I love this. I'm not really that, not really, I'm not a massive fan of this, okay? I really like the single bronzer, but with this, also the shades are very, very deep. They're not just like in the middle deep for me, they're very deep, so I really don't dip into this much. This right here is also a little bit glittery, and this right here is more like a satin finish. These two are the only ones that are mattes. I do love the regular singular one the most. The shade is just perfection for me, easy to work with, and it's all I really need in a bronzer in a sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. Okay, next up I have these right here from Benefit. So I love Hoola bronzer. As you can see, I have a singular one here and it's amazing. I don't even know if you can see the dip that I have in here, but I use this pretty regularly. It's one of my go-tos. So I'm gonna keep that just cause, you know. But I also have these as well, which also include Hoola bronzers. And I just feel like it might be a bit excessive to have all of them. So I have the Cheek Leaders palette. I was on the hunt of hunts for this one. So happy to have it in my life. So we get 3 powders in here: Hoola bronzer, Cookie highlighter, and Gold Rush blush. Not crazy obsessed with this, but love Cookie and love Hoola, so I am going to keep this. I mainly love this for Cookie, but Hoola is also a classic for me, so I love this trio. I feel like I travel with it a lot too. For this one, I love Hoola. And then California is one of my favorite blushes from them, but I already have it in the singular form. Right, so that's in my regular blush drawer. So I don't necessarily feel like I need to have this in my life per se. I'm not obsessed with Dandelion, and Rockateur is pretty, but I'm not like, I don't know, maybe I would get it in the singular form, but I feel like it's a bit excessive to kind of keep this. I like that it's compacted and it's like all in one, but I think I'm going to declutter this. Okay, next up I have this right here from Essence. This is the Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder palette. I'll be honest, this really isn't anything special. I try to give it a few like chances. I used it a few times to see what's up, but I just always felt like it didn't blend out easily on the skin, and it was a little bit more of like a hassle to work with. If you're looking for a good, let's say, bronzer from the drugstore that is affordable, the e.l.f. one, let me tell you, is a winner. It really, really is. So I personally was not a fan of this. I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye. Okay, then I have this right here by Pixi. So this is like a blush and bronzer palette, but I did leave it in here just because I felt like I would use this mainly for the bronzers. I haven't used this in a minute. Can't even remember how I feel about this per se. We also get highlighters in here as well. So I think I'm gonna keep this because Pixi does have really good makeup goodies. I just didn't use this as much as I would like, so I wouldn't want to get rid of it and then, you know, a year later being like, oh hey, I need this, and then falling in love with it kind of thing. So I'm gonna keep this, give it some love, see where it takes me. If I like it, you know, I'll continue to keep it. If not, I'll probably be in a future declutter video. So I'm gonna keep this for now. Okay, next up we have this bronzer right here by Gucci. This is in 03. I like this bronzer. I like how like luxurious it is, how beautiful it is. It's not my obsession, but I think it's a good quality bronzer, and you kind of feel the vibe with this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. It's also easy to work with and easy to blend out. I also have this right here from Dior. I really like deodorant. Whoa, deodorant. So, okay, I really like Dior's powders and complexion products. I do really well with that, especially, I would say. I haven't given this a massive amount of love. I use these two shades a lot, these two not so much. But I purchased this because I like the highlighter quad, and I figured maybe this could be something I would love too. So I'm gonna keep this, give it a bit more love to see where I'm at with this, and then I'll take it from there. But I'm gonna keep this for now. Okay, moving on to the middle section here. I have this bronzer from Nabla. This is in Soft Revenge. This is one of my favorites ever. It's such a beautiful, very easy to work with bronzer, like butter, literally. It builds up like to the most perfect shade ever. You can go light with it, you can go like deeper with it, and it's so pretty on the skin. I think they have a few shades to choose from if this is too light or too dark for you, but obsessed with the formula. It's silky smooth, so nice, keeping that. Next I have this right here. So yeah, the powder got like literally all over. I have to clean this. NARS bronzer in Laguna. So I really do enjoy Laguna bronzer. I've gone through a few small ones of this bronzer and maybe one full size even. So this is like their newer packaged formula, I want to say. I really like the older one more because it was easier to get the product on the brush. With this style of bronzer, like with this design and all, it always has major hard pan. So I'm gonna have to declutter it. You can barely pick up any product on the brush and it's like an actual hassle to use this. Very annoying. When it does work, it is beautiful and the shade is such perfection, but I haven't used it in a long time because it just has hard pan, which basically means the top part is like almost waxy in a sense. Product can be built up on the brush because it doesn't like adhere, you know. So I'm gonna declutter this. I might purchase this again, but in the older packaging if I find it, because I love this bronzer, but this is just annoying to work with. So I'm gonna declutter that. Next I have my Tarte Park Avenue Princess bronzer. This is a classic for me. This is one I adore and enjoy a ton. Has little specks of glitter, but it kind of just gives your face this like nice dimension. So I'm gonna keep this. It's one of my favorites. Keeping a lot here, huh? Next up, we have Hourglass. This is in Luminous Bronze Light. Pretty sure I'm gonna be hitting pan on this very soon. This is the most beautiful bronzer ever to exist. If I had to choose one bronzer, it's this one right here. It's seamless on the skin, very thin, but is very buildable, and it looks one with your face. Even though a lot of the other bronzers also, they look good, but this right here, just their formula for their powder products are exceptionally amazing. So keeping this, let's talk about this one. So this right here is from Patrick Ta, and this is in She's Static. I don't know. It's the lightest bronzer that he has. I'm gonna declutter this. I've used the powder a amount of times, but I feel like it's such a hard one to build up. I would say this would probably be best suited if you have fair skin tones, maybe light-ish, but like that's pretty much about it. I mean, I feel like I'm in the light family generally, but I like to know that I can build up if I wanna go from like light to medium. With this one, it's only like light. It's not gonna go more than that. As for the cream bronzer, I think I've only swatched it. I don't even think I used it on my face, but this duo was just a little bit too light for my liking, and it's not so versatile as versatile as I would like. I like the formula though, at least for the, you know, powder. So I'm gonna pick up the second shade. This shade is just a little bit too light, so I'm gonna declutter this one. Okay, next up we have this right here from ABH. I spoke about this in my I'll Keep You Posted video, and I let you guys know there that personally, I don't think this is worth $58. It's way too expensive. I don't know what, like, where that price even came from. $25, I hear where you're coming from though. Everything here is just very mediocre. The highlighter kind of sucks. The bronzer is decent. The blush is probably the best out of the three. I'm not a massive fan of this, and it just, I don't know, I don't love it. So I'm gonna declutter this palette. Then we have this bronzer right here in collaboration with Samantha March. It's a bronzer. I do like this, not obsessed. It is pretty deep if you build. So you have to be very careful with this one, but it adds a nice warm tone effect to the skin. There's more of like a matte side and more of like a satin-ish side, and I like to mix them both together to create just a, you know, beautiful color for the skin. So I'm gonna keep this one. Okay, next let's hop into this. This right here is from Hourglass. It's one of their palettes they released for holiday. So like I mentioned before, I love their powder products. From all of these powders, this blush right here was like my jam. Love that. It includes 2 blushes, a bronzer, and some powder products. I think this is nice. I just don't like how tiny these are because sometimes it's just a little bit, I would say, annoying to get the brush in there. Especially for the bronzer, not so much for the blushes, but even for the face powders, it's just hard because you want like a bigger brush, or that's how I like to use this, with like a bigger brush to kind of fluff it up all in there and then apply it on my face. I think what I might just end up doing is maybe purchasing this blush on its own to know I have it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and actually declutter this. I might even purchase this on its own as well, just so I know that, you know, those are shades that I'm gonna typically use and I'm really gonna, yeah, get use out of. So I think I'm gonna say goodbye to this one. Next, I have this right here from e.l.f. Cosmetics. This is one of their bite-sized face palettes. We get a highlighter and a bronzer. I'm going to declutter this one because the bronzer is way too dark for me. There's no, like, you know, fussing with that one for me. And then the highlighter is also just very dark. It's very gold toned, and that's typically not the shade of highlighters I go for. So I'm going to declutter this. I also have this bronzer right here from Bare Minerals. It's just a small size, which I love. Such a good one. A little bit hard to work this into the skin, but once you do, it's really pretty and it looks so good. So with this one, I'll give it an extra second, and it's really nice. So I'm going to keep that. Also, I like to use this for traveling. I also have this one right here by Fenty. This is in Caramel Cutie. It's just a small size. Haven't used this in a really long time. Not really feeling it. I don't know, the color looks very gray toned in here. Maybe I'm gonna purchase a full size in a different shade. I like the formula though, but this color, just by looking at it, I'm not feeling it. I think like when I purchased it, I was feeling it, but not anymore. I also have this bronzer right here from Laura.y. I completely finished off a full size of this one. It's such a good bronzer. Very comparable to the Hourglass bronzer formula. This is in 03. Oh yeah, so I finished off a full size. I have to say that again because it was like wow for me. I'm gonna keep this, finish this off because it's almost done. I actually forgot that I even had it, so I'm gonna keep that. Next I have these two from Kaleidos. I have the lighter trio, and then this right here is in medium. So I think I'm gonna keep medium. I think that with all of the shades I can probably do more compared to the shades in here. Although I do like this bronzer, but this I would probably never use, and this, let me see. Yep, number 2 looks better. So I'm gonna keep this, declutter this one. Next up I have this bronzer right over here. This is the Bronze Please by L'Oreal. I think I used this like 2 or 3 times. I don't even know if it's available anymore. It was part of like a summer collection. So it's honestly just been sitting in here and I haven't really been reaching for it. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to give this another home. So I'm gonna declutter that. I also have these by Ofra Cosmetics. So basically we have, they're the midi palettes. So we have this one, medium, and then this one is in light. So light and then medium. Definitely think, I wish this bronzer would be here. I don't know if I would use this one, but I do like this highlighter more than this one. It would work out better for me. So I think I'm gonna keep this and give this one a different home. Next I have this right here from e.l.f. Cosmetics. This is one of their blush and bronzer duos. So this is in Fiji. How beautiful is this? I forgot about this one. I think that this bronzer is going to be perfection, and this blush is so pretty. I've gotten rid of a few, e.l.f. bronzers that I wasn't obsessed with besides for that single one, but I think I'm going to keep this one because I think it's a really good one. So I need to give it more love though, so I'm going to keep that. Next I have just a few cream bronzers. So firstly I have this right here from Milk Makeup. You know, I heard such amazing things about this one. I think it's good, but it's not like ultimately the best thing ever. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter it. There are other cream bronzers that I actually prefer more than this one. So I think I'm gonna say goodbye to this. Not worth it for me, I'll tell you that. I also have the Born This Way concealer here. So I purchased this specifically in a deeper shade to cream contour with. I thought it would work out, and usually it does if I choose like a deeper shade, but this right here is actually just way too deep for my skin tone, and it almost looks a little bit muddy if it's way too dark, even if I completely blend it out. So I do like the formula though, so I think I'm gonna maybe purchase it in another shade, or maybe finish off a few other cream bronzers and then maybe purchase this, we'll see. But I'm gonna declutter this one. I also have this little one right here from Tarte, which I don't think I even used, but I've been wanting for a while. So now that I'm gonna have more space in here, I'll be able to see what I have. I'm gonna keep this one. I heard amazing things about that. I also have 3 of these cream bronzers from e.l.f. So they actually sent these over. I haven't had a chance to use these. I have this shade right over here in Beach Please. Definitely pretty dark. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this, give it to someone else who it might work out for. Ugh. Okay, then I have these 2 shades as well. So this right here is in Tan Lines, which I think could work out really beautifully. Such a gorgeous shade. And then I have this one in Bronze Belle, which could probably work out too. So I'm gonna keep both of those. I do like their putty blushes and their putty primers, so I'll have to give this a go ASAP because enough is enough, girl. I also have this here from Ofra, but it's actually concealer wheel, which I typically don't use these kind of products. I'm gonna put it in my concealer drawer, see if I actually end up using it or not. But if I would use this to cream contour, it would only be with this shade, and I think I could use more of these shades to actually conceal with. So I'm gonna put this in the other drawer since it does not belong in here. Next up, I have this right here from Kaja. I really love this cream bronzer. It's one of the better ones out there. I don't use it with the star because it doesn't really work well. I think it's just for cutesiness, but the quality of the bronzer is great, so I'm gonna keep that. I also have these 2 by Ofra Cosmetics. I think I'm gonna keep this one. I think it's gonna be the perfect shade for me. This right here is a little bit too light. This right here is in Sunset, the lighter one, and then we have Dusk. I think Dusk would be better off for me, so I'm gonna keep the deeper one, which is perfect for me. How much time did I say that? And declutter that. And then finally I have the Fit Me foundation here, but I use it as a cream contour. I really do like this to cream contour. I think it's the deepest shade they have. Yeah, I just have to use it more often, but I do like this a lot. It's in the shade Coconut, so I'm gonna keep this. Okay, so here are the two piles that I have. I have this one right over here, which are the bronzers I'm gonna declutter. 18 in total there, and then here I have the ones that I'm keeping, 24 here. So I'll tell you, I feel like in the past I probably got rid of much more, only because I felt like I used to buy literally everything they released ever. I feel like these days I'm a little bit more maybe picky when it comes to just purchasing just to purchase. So I feel like for the bronzers that I kept, well, a lot of them were small sizes, so I'll probably finish those off quickly. And then also, like, a lot of these are just like solid bronzers that I just love. So you know I'm getting tons of use out of it, you know? Anyways, I think I still did pretty good. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna put everything back now. So in this section here, I'm gonna put the square shaped bronzers, just like that. In this section here, I'm gonna put the round ones, which we actually don't have a lot of. Let me just put them together so they're not flying all over the place. Yeah, this is better. Another square. Can't forget about Hula. And I like when my cream bronzers have their own section, so I'm gonna put these here. Hopefully get to using them more, especially the e.l.f. ones, because they're new to me. And then here I'm gonna put the Pixie palette. I'm also gonna put the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer because that's huge. Fits perfectly there. Just gonna put these, I don't know if you guys can't even see, but I would say like trios over there. This e.l.f. one will go, well, we'll put it here because I really want to remember to use that. And then I have just two powder little ones, which I would love to finish up by the end of the year. I'm going to put here. So yes, I really love how this is looking now. So much more breathable. Love. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. Again, I'll have the other bronzers that I decluttered on my Poshmark if it was purchased by me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading your comments. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video.